in terms of making lessons more accessible and inclusive. And then also, I think just in general, how do you build a studio that has the ideas of just like, let's just be good people and like do this thing that we love.
Okay, yeah. So um I used to do in person and online before COVID, right? So that was really nice. It was kind of a breath of fresh air every day because it was a different experience. Teaching in person is just it's not the same as teaching online. It feels very different. There is a very discernible difference there in the interaction and in everything that you do. I like I like things about both, but if I had to choose, I would choose online for the convenience and because I can do everything I do in person online. And that's the most important thing. There is nothing that you can't do. I've done embouchure changes. I mean, it really, there's no limit. You can do everything online. So having that sort of dual accessibility to things, I highly recommend that. If you are doing your website and you're working on SEO, people will find you. Someone from another state or another country, they'll find you, and the sooner that you can start building that sort of double life, um, you can get a lot out of it. It gives you a lot of financial freedom. Um, it gives you the opportunity to learn how to teach both ways, virtually and in person. So yeah, it's great. As far as teaching, as far as building a studio that's really inclusive, I think most online studios out there for trumpet, I mean, most websites, that are for a private studio are by men, and so I think when someone finds my website and my face shows up on the front page, they're like, "Oh, it's a lady that teaches trumpet. This is interesting." So I think that alone kind of gives me a little bit of an edge because it's already different. I'm also Hispanic, so it's a different face. It's a very inviting to the Hispanic community. I do have on my website that I'm bilingual and I teach in both languages. And so that alone, I think, makes people feel very comfortable. On my website, I also have sort of like an inclusion clause that it is my promise to the students to never um, judge them on the color of their skin or the language they speak or their sexual preference or their gender preference, um, their gender identity preference. So that's, it's very out there. It is very obvious. On the front page, I also make sure to include a lot of images of me with my students, which are of all colors and from everywhere in the world. And so, it's I think it's quite an obvious statement that I'm trying to make that on the website. And when people contact me, I mean, it's of course I'm never going to be prejudiced against anyone for any reason whatsoever. So um, now, as far as having this dual thing with Trumpet headquarters, that's very different because Trumpet headquarters is entirely online. So I have the course up on there with the videos, and they go in, they sign in, and they watch the videos and go through the process. Now, we do have a student forum, which is awesome because they can put up videos of themselves and pictures and ask questions and interact with each other. It's been great to see them in there, inspiring each other. There's a part of the forum where they can just put up like their progress. And it's cool because I'll have students like Gary, for example, is always putting up videos and, hey, look what I'm doing this week. And then somebody else will come in and be like, hey, man, that sounds so good. It's inspiring me. And then they put a video and it's cool. It's a really nice experience. Those lessons kind of walk themselves, all I really do is just I go in every day into the forum and I provide feedback where it's needed, and I focus most of my actual teaching time in my in-person lessons. So yeah, be really obvious about it.